How many millionaires do you think are there in the United States? What if I told you that in just 2017, 700,000 people became millionaires? And now try to guess the total number. It's in millions. To be exact, there are over 11 million millionaires just here in the United States. And now try to imagine how many millionaires are there worldwide. The world is actually filled with millionaires. Every single day, thousands of people join the club. However, if you give it a closer look, all millionaires can be divided into three categories, because there are essentially three ways to become a millionaire, unless your dad will give you a small loan of $1 million, and that will be the fourth. By the way, contrary to the popular belief, only 20% of millionaires have inherited their wealth. The other 80% made it with their blood and sweat. In fact, out of 2,604 billionaires worldwide, 56% of them are self-made. So even if you're not born with a silver spoon in your mouth, your chances to become one are reasonable. There are basically three financial paths you can take: sidewalk, slow lane, and the fast lane. Slow lane is get rich slow formula, or get rich old, where you will be on a wheelchair. The slow lane is your typical parent's advice. Go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job, save 10%, invest in the stock market, max your 401k, flip coupons, and then someday, sometime in the future, when you're 65 or 70 years old, you will be rich. Congratulations, you have made it. The problem with the slow lane is that you will have to sacrifice your entire life so that you can live your dream life when you are on a wheelchair, which I don't really like, because once you're old, you can't get back young again. Time is out of your hands, so as your income when you take this path. You can't double or triple your income every single year. Try asking your boss for a 100% raise. You will most likely get fired. So if you decide to take this path, remember, you're not going to drive that Ferrari while you're young. You're not gonna travel and have adventures, because it's quite difficult to do that when you're 70. You will live like a slave, waiting for a Friday to celebrate your freedom and then get back to slavery on Monday. If Buffett started investing when he was just 11 years old and only made his first million by the age of 31, how long do you think it will take you to make even $1 million when you haven't even invested a single dime in the stock market yet and you're 25? Nonetheless, it's probably the best strategy for most people. Although that you will have a boring, mediocre life, you will have a financial plan that works. Even if it's not exciting, you will be a millionaire in 30 or 40 years. It depends on your salary and how much you're willing to save. In fact, a considerable number of millionaires in the United States have taken this path. It's safe, secure, and guaranteed, and better than the second option, the sidewalk. The sidewalkers are usually one step away from bankruptcy, because they're more bothered about living their dream life today and aren't much into the future. They can even make millions of dollars but still end up poor, like a professional athlete or a musician. Your album fails, you get injured, you get homeless, and file for bankruptcy. Even if you have a prosperous career, chances that you will remain a millionaire after you retire are really low. 78% of NFL players are either bankrupt or under financial stress within 2 years of retirement. 60% of NBA players go bankrupt after 5 years of ending their career. Imagine making millions of dollars but still go broke. It sounds unbelievable, but that's what happens when you decide to become a pro athlete. There isn't time for financial education. You have to work hard day and night to be at the top. There will be people who are more talented than you or simply have better genetics. By the way, the number of athletes who end up making it to the pro level are less than 1%. While you're having the greatest years of your career, you get used to a certain lifestyle that's completely taken care by your multi-million-dollar salary. And once you retire, it's difficult to get back to an average life. So you go broke in a few years. The number of athletes who build a sustainable business while making it to the top, like Michael Jordan, are an extreme small minority. And even those who end up earning like $400 million like Tyson did can still go absolutely broke. The worst part about it is that with the rise of social media, everyone is taking the sidewalk. You pull out your phone and see how these people are driving Ferraris and living their dream lives, and you don't want to be left behind. You might be working hard, but whatever money you make, you spend it on the next great gadget, on the next trip so that you have something to post on your Instagram, on a more expensive car. Sidewalkers are trapped in such a lifestyle where they are driven by their urgent instant needs for pleasure. Every dime you make will directly go to your car payments, clothes, whatever. You're not worried about the future because you think that someday, sometime in the future, you will hit big. But let's be honest, you most probably won't. So it's not the wisest option to take. And then there's the fast lane. The whole idea behind it is that instead of sacrificing today for tomorrow or tomorrow for today, get out and provide value to as many people as possible. You see, most of us are consumers because to provide value, you need to have something first. And most people do not take the time and effort to build themselves up to a point where they will have something to give. Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire in just a few years because he provided a platform to millions of people to socialize. If you give it a closer look, the purpose of any business is to give value in different ways. The store beside your house provides you with the groceries. The restaurant downside the road provides you with the food. Netflix provides you with the content that you find interesting. Amazon saves you the time and makes shopping much easier. And what makes this path much more appealing than the other two, there is no limit to how much you can make. You want to triple your income in the next 6 months? It's under your control. You don't have to beg your boss for a 5% raise like the slow laners do. And you're not sacrificing your future like the sidewalkers do, because the fast laners take that money and buy real estate, patents, businesses that will keep raising their income. The challenge with the fast lane is that you will have to spend first an enormous amount of time to create something that will truly bring value to a substantial number of people. And the more people you're going to impact, the more money you're going to make. Of course, it's not easy and most people would never be able to do that because the other path looks much more attractive since that's what being rich means to most people. But when you finance an $80,000 Mercedes-Benz over 6 years because that's all you could afford, that isn't wealth. You're fooling yourself. It still blows my mind how people can travel while not even having $1,000 in their savings account. Wealth isn't embodied in a car or clothes, but in the freedom to know that you can buy it. That's why it's easy to find self-made millionaires or billionaires who are cheap, because they know that they have the freedom to afford pretty much anything they want anytime. On the other side, you have people who haven't even paid their student loans and yet are completely comfortable to take another loan to show everyone how successful they are. People don't choose to be poor, they make poor decisions that slowly lead them into that direction. Just a little disclaimer, that doesn't mean you can't achieve your financial goals if you decide to become a musician or an athlete or an actor. Of course, you can take that path and slowly turn it into a sustainable business. But we are talking about the overwhelming majority. At the end of the day, if your wealth do not bring you the freedom to live wherever you want, however you want, without being accountable to anyone, you're still poor. And for God's sake, please do not bombard me with comments about how money can't buy happiness, that you can take the slow lane and still be happy. Absolutely, you can do that. But the point of this video is that there are 3 financial paths you can take that really can make you a millionaire in different ways, and each of them have their upsides and downsides. Of course, the fast lane is the most rewarding one, where you can become a millionaire in just a few years and stay one for the rest of your life. But it's also the most challenging one, which is why most people won't take it. But being a sidewalker isn't sustainable. That's why the slow lane is probably the best option for most people. This video is based on a book, The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. It's a brilliant read which I recommend to everyone.